friends, this is Angelus de Mortiel with another multiplayer build guide for Mass Effect Andromeda. This time we are going a significantly different direction from my Asari Adept build. But don't worry, we are definitely keeping this build well within the core spirit of Mass Effect. This is the Human Universal Munitions Protocol Rifleman. The Sentinel class to which this belongs, in essence, is the tank of Mass Effect. So I have taken that idea and gone the most literal interpretation possible. She is an actual tank. Heavy armaments and armor on a mobile platform. Let's explore. Starting off, we have Throw. Throw is a homing biotic projectile that hits an enemy with significant force, knocking weaker enemies flying and detonating combos. At rank 4, we take damage and force to increase both by a significant 30%. At rank 5, we take duration to lift enemies after being hit for several seconds, priming them for a biotic combo. The idea of these upgrades is not as much for the use of the power itself, but more as a utility. Throw and power combos are some of the best sources of stagger in the game currently, so having a power that acts as a triple threat, stagger, primer, and detonator is extremely useful. The priority of upgrading Throw, however, is rather low. This is the 4th ability tree I upgrade. Then we have Barricade. Barricade sees the player drop a device on the ground that creates a holographic shield in a small semicircle in front of them. Not only does this ability give you directional protection from enemy fire, but it also decreases shield regeneration delay for anyone in cover behind it by 40%. Barricade is what I call a grenade power. It has no cooldown, but instead has finite charges called power cells that can only be replenished from a slowly regenerating supply at ammo boxes. I take Barricade to rank 3 in order to give us added power cell capacity and duration. The duration is especially helpful during device objectives, as the bonus makes it last just slightly longer than it takes to complete one device. The priority of upgrading Barricade is extremely low. This is the 5th and final tree I upgrade. Next, we look at Energy Drain. Energy Drain saps power from targets, doing extra damage to shields and synthetics while restoring your own shields and detonating power combos. At rank 4, we take Recharge Speed to bring its cooldown time to 12 seconds, which is more in line with Throw. At rank 5, we take Extended Drain. Not only does it act like a HOT by restoring an additional 6% shields per second for 4 seconds, but it also allows Energy Drain to be both a combo primer and detonator. Finally, we take Team Drain at rank 6 to allow Energy Drain to restore 50% shields to any allies within 8 meters. Energy Drain has a ton of utility here, restoring 80% of the player's shields up front, then restoring an additional 24% over time, then restoring 50% shields to teammates, then priming or detonating combos. Energy Drain has a high priority due to how much it increases the sustainability of you and your team. I would recommend upgrading this second. Moving on to passive upgrades. In weapon training, we take Weapon Training at rank 4, Ammo and Targeting at rank 5, and Weapon Specialist at rank 6. This route greatly enhances your overall lethality given your reliance on primarily weapons for damage. As a result, the priority here is moderate. I upgrade this 3rd. In Tech Armor, we take Strength at rank 4, Stabilization at rank 5, and Reactive Armor at rank 6. These upgrades have a huge impact on your play. Strength makes it so that you can carry 2 extremely heavy weapons into combat without sacrificing cooldown speed. Stabilization drastically improves LMG handling and accuracy, and Reactive Armor increases the effect of Energy Drain's shield restoration by 30% for 3 seconds after you take damage. The bonuses to melee also punish cover rushing enemies like Audis and Breachers. Tech armor is an extremely high priority given its impact. I upgrade this first. As for my loadout, this is where things get fun. Because of the strength upgrade in the tech armor tree, I can take both a heavy LMG and a sniper rifle. This nicely fills out the concept of a tank, as I have both a heavy, slow-firing cannon and an anti-personnel machine gun. I've been using the Revenant LMG and the H.U.M.P.R sniper rifle as my standard go-to kit for all levels of play. The H.U.M.P.R has unmatched per-shot damage, easily thinning out weak grunt enemies and quickly neutralizing boss enemies, while the Revenant is a close-ranged workhorse for combat in confined quarters. Paired with that, I use the thermal clip storage equipment to maximize my reserve ammunition so I don't have to run to ammo boxes as often. This increases your maximum ammo capacity by an insane 75%. For boosters, I will stick with ammo and weapon amps. Ammo types vary depending on faction, but that typically just means disruptor ammo for Remnant and incendiary ammo for everything else. For weapons, you can go with the assault rifle amp to boost the Revenant, but I most often will go with the sniper amp to maximize the per shot damage of the H.U.M.P.R. Now for the strategy. Unlike the Asari build I did, this is not an in-your-face playstyle. We actually would prefer to keep the enemies at a safe distance and pick them off with our sniper rifle. There is no special combos of maneuvers we do either. It's all situational, but I'll lay out the ways I operate in the battlefield. I find a distant perch on one edge of the battlefield that has a long sight line and is not overly exposed to flanking. I don't want to end up flushed out too soon. As enemies approach, in my mind I assign target priority. Cover flushing enemies first. This includes enemies like Audis, Breachers, Berserkers, and Nullifiers. If they can knock you out of cover, they must die quickly. Grunt enemies second. Thinning out these enemies can drastically decrease the damage output of the enemy as a whole. This has additional meaning for assemblers of the Remnant faction as they build cover flushing breachers. Intermediate or leader type enemies third. They can take multiple shots from an H.U.M.P.R to kill, even when landing weak point hits, decreasing your per shot efficiency. As a result, they should be saved until grunts are thinned out a bit. Boss type enemies last. While you may see the gigantic destroyer or fiend and gravitate towards whittling them down first, it is inadvisable unless your team is focusing on other targets. When it is time for them, learn their weak points to ensure a less painful experience. If enemies overwhelm my position, I switch to the Revenant and relocate to another similar such position. Or, if no other position exists, I kite the enemies to the opposite side of the map and return to my perch once it is cooled off. During objectives, I again switch to the Revenant to complete or support completion of the objective unless there is a long enough sight line to use the H.U.M.P.R. The barricade ability is an invaluable tool for devices specifically, as I outlined before. When using powers, I will almost always use them in tandem. For the most part, you can use them as needed, but I will often save them for when enemies are getting closer and I start taking direct fire in order to help me relocate safely. The order in which I cast them greatly depends on whether or not the enemy have shields. If enemies have shields, I use Energy Drain followed by Throw for a tech combo. If enemies have no shields, I use Throw, then Energy Drain for a biotic combo. The human Universal Munitions Protocol Rifleman can really hammer her enemies into submission, utilizing the full potential of her extremely large guns. Have a different way to build the human Sentinel? Let me know in the comments below. If you are new to this channel, hello. I make build guides, strategies, and tutorials, as well as live stream frequently. If you like what you see here and would like to be notified of the next guide, click on that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I also run a multi-genre gaming community called the Pixel Crashers, as well as co-lead the Apex Spec Ops community. You can find links for all of these things in the description below. Until next time, this is Angelus de Mortiel, signing off.